All right, welcome back. Well, we are joined by MTN's Jay Cohn, and we do have a storm warning to tell you about, but it's not the type of storm you're thinking about. A political storm, really. 2020 shaping up to be a very contentious elective year.
Maybe the perfect storm, Andrea. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, I hope you've been enjoying all the absence of those annoying political ads that have been jamming our airwaves over the past year. Everyone can agree after that nasty 2018 campaign, the silence has been golden. But unfortunately, I'm here to tell you, it's just the calm before the storm. So buckle up and keep that mute button handy.
We start with Montana's U.S. Senate race in 2020. It has the potential either to be a showdown or a snoozer. Junior Senator Steve Daines is facing his first Senate re-election bid. One survey rates Daines one of the Senate's most effective members.
That's very important.
And he looks to be a shoo-in unless another guy named Steve jumps into the race.
Ask the $64 million question,
Steve, yeah.
right? I mean, the governor seems adamant that he wants to run for president, that he's not interested in running for the Senate.
We can't speak the language of Iowa or Michigan or Wisconsin.
But so far, presidential candidate Steve Bullock insists he's not interested.
At the moment, I'll take him at his word that he has no interest in it. He's never served in a legislative capacity. He's only served in executive positions. There is a little bit of a letdown, I think, becoming a senator, because now you're one of 100, whereas a governor, you're one of only 50 around the country. And in the state, you're the big kahuna.
It's hard for me to say with a straight face that Steve Bullock is actually going to be a serious presidential candidate.
Although he does not expect it to happen, Republican consultant Jake Eaton admits a Steve versus Steve matchup would be intriguing.
Essentially, you have two incumbents running against each other. Outside of Steve Bullock, the Democrats have a really, really weak bench.
Short of Governor Bullock, are there any other Democrats who might stand a chance challenging Senator Daines? In spite of losing to Greg Gianforte in last fall's congressional contest, Kathleen Williams may have her choice of what office she wants to pursue.
How can you be the voice when you don't meet with the public or allow?
She's going to have her picked. I think she's going to be the most sought after Democrat candidate. So all the national groups, the governor groups will be wooing her, the Senate committees will be wooing her, the congressional committee will be wooing her. I think she'll really be kind of their go-to marquee candidate this time. You know, Montana, we tend to like people better the second time around. It's, you know, very few folks at statewide level ever win on their first time out of the gate.
But Williams is expected to announce soon that she's planning another run at the U.S. House, which leaves Democrats with few choices.
I don't think we should be in the habit of expecting folks in our party to sort of rise through any ranks. Anybody can do it, and anybody with a passion and a willingness to want to stand up to the President of the United States or anybody in control if they're threatening our freedoms and everything Montana stands for.
Murphy just wrapped up 2 years as Senator Tester's chief of staff. He says while a specific challenger to Daines has yet to surface, he believes there are plenty of issues to raise.
Will he have the courage to actually speak with his constituents in a public forum and actually take tough questions? We haven't seen that from Senator Daines, and I think his time is due.
And keep in mind, one of the biggest challenges of all is just the ominous task of running and financing a statewide campaign for Senate. To put that in perspective, it really involves starting up a $20 million business, scaling it up, and then shutting it down all within 15 months. That's going to scare a lot of people away.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that. And of course, the Senate race, just one of a bunch of races that we're going to see happen. So on the 2020 agenda. Stick around, though, after the break, because Jay is going to tell us about how they're sizing up potential candidates.
The governor's race is going to be epic.